Right, we've got a few minutes before the children are going to be coming in. I've got some great news, which is that they're wonderful and brilliant. Some of you might find this difficult, this next bit. To see these cushions, these were made by 1,800 little children who made these houses. They were then stitched by refugees and asylum seekers. I'm not doing this for sub-story, this is real. And no one's sitting on them! And you're going to make me cry! So you've got to move down here. No, I'm going to start poking people with my stick. Unless you are elderly or infirmed, you sit on them cushions. Little children made those cushions. Get out. No, it's not. That would be disrespectful not to use it. Unless you're elderly or infirmed. Ladies and gentlemen, I have my announcer's hat on. That means we're ready to begin. Can we turn those lights off at the back? We want it cosy. Thank you very much. Welcome to our second Manchester multi-language Mushaira. I'm Emma Martin. I'm a local artist. I put together things and we have fun and do things. 2 years ago I went to a Mushaira as part of the International Mother Language Day, and it was all in Urdu, which is the tradition of Mushairas. And I don't speak Urdu, but I went along just to go and see what it would be like. And I learned something very, very valuable, which is when it comes to poetry, you don't have to understand the words to understand a poem. You just need to understand the feeling. And that got me thinking of the idea that we might not understand each other's languages, but we can put across our feelings and our thoughts and what we want to say to each other. And at a time when we're very much being encouraged to see each other as different and to see each other as other, I think it's very important we stand together and that we enjoy and celebrate the 200 languages spoken across our city. It means people have come from all around the world to come here, to share, to learn, to grow together in Manchester. And that's what we've done as a group of people. We've grown together as a performance group. In the build-up for the Mushaira, there have been schools all over Manchester working with us on the Mushaira. We've had 39 schools that signed up, and we've started to get all their lovely work in with what they've been doing. So here's a few highlights. Abraham Moss have been making the lovely textile houses that you're sat on your bottoms there, and they've made us a beautiful film on our online Mushaira. Cringlebrook Primary School did their own Mushaira last week, as did Lily Lane Primary School, and they followed theirs with a multicultural feast including French patisseries and Polish noodles and all sorts of really interesting things. Unity Community Primary School have been writing poetry, particularly around the theme of homelessness. Two special schools made poetry streets. These are poetry streets for you. Every single one of them is a poem. Some of them will make you cry, some will make you laugh. And that was the Birches and Rodney House, lovely special schools where the children were still able to join in our Mushaira. Crowcroft Park created poetry and had their artwork stitching, their art group stitching the cushions over lunchtimes for us, which was very kind. And then here we have Stanley Grove, St Agnes, Longsight Community Primary and Rushbrook. They've all been creating the cushions, making poetry streets. They've given us their beautiful creative crews, which are here today, who've worked hard to create poetry for you tonight. There'll be poetry in English, Romanian, Spanish, Kurdish, Japanese, Arabic, Yoruba, Turkish, Urdu and Slovak. And we're going to get to be sharing that very soon with you. Unfortunately, you had a really lovely compere that was supposed to be here this evening. Unfortunately, Anjam Malik can't be with us tonight because her poor mum is in hospital and we'd like to wish her a speedy recovery. So you're just going to have to put up with me as your compere, and I've got a message here from Anjam. So she says, at a Mushaira, poetry, she doesn't speak like that. She says, at a Mushaira, poetry is performed by the poet, but the audience joins in too. Ah. And this is how you do it. If a poet says a line you really like, you tell them. You do this by saying, wow. Or if you really like it, you say, wow, wow. And the poet will go, yes, thank you very much, marvellous. This praises the poet in a respectful manner and tells them that you're enjoying their work. The other way the audience joins in is to ask the poet to repeat a line. If there's something that makes the hairs tingle on the back of your neck, or something that makes your heart thump faster, you ask them to repeat. You say, makara, makara. Or you can say again or repeat, and then they will repeat the line back to you. However, if you keep asking them to repeat it, you have to join in as well. So we'll see how that goes. So it's wah-wah if we're liking something. We can click our fingers in appreciation as well. We can wiggle our signs in appreciation as well. And if we're loving something particularly, we say, makara, repeat. We're going to have a practice of that. We're going to do one of Anjam's poems. And this is the reason why you've had chit butties tonight. This was a poem that Anjam wrote. We've got a little performers competing. I'm going to win. I'll win. Are we ready, young man? We're going to do a poem together. We're going to do a poem together. You ready? You don't know the poem? Well, get off my stage then. Yeah? Okay, are we ready? Be ready with your wah-wahs and your makaras. Are we ready? A northern bite. A tea cake, a balm, a big bread roll, whatever you call it. Get one of those. Tear it apart. Fill with hot, fat chips. Come on, where's the wah-wah? Fat chip. You get a wah-wah hot, fat chip. Salt and vinegar go on top. Close together, wow. Take a huge bite, what a delight. A chip, wow. A chip butty is a northern English bite by Anjam Malik. So there's our practice. Now we're going to get on. We're going to have our first poet tonight. First up, we've got one of our amazing poets who's been working with our children, Nasima Begum, absolutely fantastic. She's been our lead poet for this project, and she's been teaching the children, helping them to find their voices. She's going to perform some of her poetry. She's going to perform some poetry that young people wrote with her today here at Longsight Library. So Nasima Begum, everybody.
Do you know what? I've been a poet for 12 years and I still don't get this right. Every time I don't know how to use a mic stand. So I'm Nasima Begum. I'm so lucky, first of all, because I've been working with these incredible young people, the creative crews from Stanley Grove, Longsight, Rushbrook and St Agnes. And I've had the best few days with them. We've been learning how to project, yeah, what else? Roots, yeah, okay. More? About your diaphragm? Yeah? So they've been learning how to perform with me, and they've been taking it to themselves to learn with each other and teach each other how to perform and about their diaphragm. It's been really, really amazing to watch. Their poetry is absolutely amazing, a million times better than mine. So I feel like I'm just like the boring part. We're not the real poets, guys. It's these guys that you're here to see. So I'm really, really excited for you guys to hear them. So today I've been here in Longsight Library and I've been writing poetry on these lovely little houses that they've cut out. Some young people have cut out and they've designed them, and then they've written some poems on the back. So I've sort of picked my favourite 3 that I really like, and I'm going to read them to you. So this one is by Basil. Home is messy. Home is cold, home is feasty. Home is gold. Home is noisy, home is full. Home is cozy, home is not dull. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Okay, so I had a lovely volunteer with me that was helping me out on the table called Susanna. And Susanna is a student at Manchester University, and she studies Chinese and English language. So she's written me a poem in Chinese. She did do the transliteration for me as well, and I'm too scared to do this. I'm going to try. Exactly. I'm going to try to do it, and then I'm going to translate it to you. Jia zhu shi jia ren. Jia ye shi jia ting. Jia li yongwa hi ni. Ni shi wo jia ren ji yi. You don't know what it means yet, but it sounded beautiful. Okay, so it's my family that makes home home. My household is also my home. In my home there's you and there's me. Together we make up a family. Yeah, wow. Wow. So I've got one more by a young lady who was also here in the audience, I think. She's called Tia Tao. Is she here? Where is she? Where is she? So, yeah, we're going to have to click for her first because this poem is so well written. I was so impressed. I have to read this out. So it's called Home Bitter Home. Do you see that wordplay? Incredible. Tia's going to be a writer when she's older, right? Yeah. Home can be a cold place. Home can be a street. Home can be rummaging through bins. Home can be sleeping on concrete. Home can be sleeping on concrete. Home can be asking for money. Home can be hell. Home can be the entrance to a shop. Home can be a place of sadness. Home, bitter, home. That's for you, Tia Tao. Thank you. So, 9 years old, wow. I was not writing poems at 9. Well, not as good as this anyway. So, I'm going to start off with my poems. I'm going to read you some of the poems that I wrote for the workbook that these guys had in their schools. So they got to work with some of my poems and some of Miss Martin's poems to help them write on the theme of home this year. So the first poem I'm going to read is called 89 Heald Place. So that was the house that I grew up in Rusholme, not too far off from here. So yeah. My house is full of tasty things. Bricks made of love. Bricks made of love. Do you have to repeat? No, what I say is brilliant. Oh, thank you. Let's start again. My house is full of tasty things, bricks made of love, with a scent of spices and cinnamon. A South Asian secret lingers in my hallway, leading to a dining table full of food always. My favourite food, piping hot rice, smothered with rich sauces of my favourite fish curry. It's time to eat. On the scene. A teddy on the bed, ready for hugs. Windowsill blooming with 2 empty mugs. Dresser full of makeup and a bursting wardrobe. Magnets on the mirror from all over the globe. My bedroom makes me happy and makes this is definitely my favourite place. Thank you. Okay. So this poem is called Weekends. It's about my father. My father passed away, sadly, 5 years ago, but he was my first ever best friend. And so this poem is dedicated to him. Chupa chup, lollipops, sweetened Saturdays and Sundays full of bubbles at bedtime. The weekend was my favourite. Entire mornings waiting for you to wake so you could take me to the park and chase me until dark. Hide and seek till I'm so tired I'm almost asleep. You see, the weekends were my favourite. Our handholds were different, they were secret. My small palms gripping at your index. Did I tell you that I loved the weekend? School's out and you are home before sleep and I am leaping makeshift monkey bars built of dining room chairs. This weekend was my favourite. Sleeping lion, I am your bear cub, and your cuddles were gentle before you carried me up at 8 o'clock. At 24, my weekends are without you. I don't play anymore. The child I once was is lost at 24. I think about our weekends and the nostalgia makes me weep. Your presence is present and fleeting moments all the time. Remembering snapshots that have fled, there's not a weekend that passes without you in my head. Okay, let's switch it up a little bit. So this poem is very, very new. I think you're the first audience to hear it. No, that's a lie, you're not. You're the third audience to hear it. I've been getting quite a few gigs in the last month, sorry. So you're the third audience. That, I guess how I feel about being written out of history, which unfortunately in my case is a little bit true. So I wrote a poem about it. When things make me angry, when things make me happy, I write poems about them. Whatever I'm feeling, I just write poems. I feel like I'm really good at it. This is called The Angry Daughters of Immigrants. In the beginning, there were more of us. Daughters and daughters and daughters and daughters, women like me. Salted lips and sugar on their hips, unafraid warriors, unsung heroes. With strawberry jam smiles and eyes conquer brown, knives for teeth and tricks beneath their sleeves. Tribal women in paisley saris, henna tattooed, decorating tired palms, orange fading like sleep waking. Delirious and distant, silver weeping from wrists, their bangles played the ode to Shonar Bangla. Golden tongue with golden words and golden pots sincerely resting on their heads. There are thousands of them in paddy fields, walking to shade, in plantations, spilling skin like hot lemonade. Incense and oud burnt, sweat like wet trench, mouth aflame with ancestral threads. We only speak in darkness, with our bodies commit acts of self-preservation, looking straight at the light of faraway stars. This history is never selfish. This history is never selfish. This history is never selfish. It is unspoken. It is unspoken like the flesh between unopened jackfruit. Calloused shell protecting its unborn, a thick and sticky sweetness. We share it in the whispers of being woman. And this belonging was nobody's to take. Okay, so I performed this poem I think last time and you really liked it, so this is dedicated to Miss Martin for all of her hard work. This poem is called Nasima, it still has to be about me. So this poem is about the mispronunciation of my name, because it happens quite often. We were talking about it a little bit before, so yeah. My letters have been swallowed and spat out like my phonetics tasted of curdled milk. My letters have been spat out. Let's start again. I keep getting that wow to repeat. My letters have been swallowed and spat out like my phonetics tasted of curdled milk. My exotic is unheard of, unworthy of pronunciation, so you proceed to commit murder with the way your intonation labels me. Every time I am addressed, I notice a little more the refusal worn, heavy on tongues unfamiliar of a being demanded to be recognized, regardless of attempts made to stamp me out. I am a force to be reckoned with. My name will bruise your mouth when you say it. I am a force to be reckoned with. My name will bruise your mouth when you say it. So your inadequate attempts made at misreading my S as a Z because it's easier to enunciate incorrectly will not suffice. Your language held hostage my name amongst the criminals, but I am a sound your lips had caressed. Intimately, the way you think of me and your men. Your men want to adorn me the way your women want to lie on my beaches. I am the foreign, unknown territory. All the bitterness forgotten rings bittersweet because I am reminiscent of the stories my foremothers once told. Of French kisses you pushed down their throats, all so I could embrace your heavy notes. Take your loaded words in case you loaded your guns. You see, I never once realized my name had the ability to knock the fear of God into man. So much that man disregards God and takes matters into his own hands. When all my name connotes is a gentle breeze, but when they turn on me, I am no longer tropical. My phenomenal is a dynamite, and you know I will destroy you. I am disguised as the sun, but I know that I belong in winter. When they teach you of diaspora, I wonder if these kings will utter their settling that stole my land and my name to keep in the palm of their hands, but fail to tell you that my thorns still cut them in their sleep. Thank you. What have I got? Got one more? One more. Okay, so I've got. Okay, this is my last one. It's called Salt, and it's quite new as well. You're not the second or third, you're probably the sixth audience. But I think it's still a very good poem. It's about something that some of you might relate to, something that I relate to. It's about migration. It tastes of saffron and sandpaper castles, like emery boards rubbing against your skin, of fear and of breaking. Silence in a crowd full of kinetic bodies, it sits still. Solid and frantic face, manic placed evenly on cross-stitch. Secretive yet seamless, hanging on bare thread, you find starts on no end. it is gouging. Taking the necessary like you're leaving, the unforgiving, the unavailable to give, the hard-hearing with punctual edges, puncturing home tastes of castor sugar on porcelain. China is preparing, shrouding like getting ready for long sleep, a long drive or losing yourself to chase soft. You make acquaintances and force yourself, exhaust, no recovering from burnout. Can you focus now whilst giving yourself to, even if you don't know your destination, even if your lips sit quivering and frost-bitten, fluid, feeling, fleeing, full. This time, noticing the sky is at the bottom of your list. You don't see what is above you or around you or beneath you. Worlds collide and worlds split in two. Your world is breathing in a chokehold, and of course you can't look. Your eyes aren't dry in time. It's hard to see anything underwater. Thank you so much. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much.
So I think you can see why we've had such a lovely time being inspired by our lead poet and why our children are going to be performing such beautiful works for you tonight. So that brings on our first child performer. Can I just say, these are obviously are very young performers and they're very new to doing this. Let me just show you one thing. This is called giving them energy. If they're forgetting their lines or forgetting where they're up to, we're just going to give them a bit of energy and keep them going, okay? We're just going to keep these youngsters going. So first of all, we have from Longside Community Primary School here tonight, we have Sahir with The Blessing Home. I'm sorry, no we don't. No we don't at all. I've skipped on 3 pages. Let's go back. Sorry, that was a bit of a shock for you, wasn't it? You're going on first, you're in Japanese, that's great. Look, first of all, we have the lovely Jude. We have the lovely Jude. Jude is from Rushbrook Primary Academy. His poem is called Paradise, and he's performing in English. We gave our children the option to perform in any language they wish.
My paradise. My paradise is a palace, a place of peace, sometimes quiet and tranquil, but most of the time a festive place, as wild as a tempestuous sea. Oh, thank you. My paradise is a place of comfort, waiting for people to arrive and instantly trapping them in warmth. Really, I don't tell lies. Thank you again. My paradise is a place of potential, wanting people to thrive. So please understand that it is special and just come inside. My paradise is a place of potential, wanting people to thrive. So please understand that this is special and just come inside. Psst, my paradise. It's my home!
It was his home, his paradise all along. Jude, thank you so much for starting us off this evening. We next have Madia from St Agnes, who's performing Endless Bliss. And she's going to be performing in English tonight.
My home is neat, tidy and nice. The place where I am truly me. When my mum opens the kitchen door, it smells like the most delicious spice. On my marvellous bed, my teddy is waiting for hugs, my window blooming with lots and lots of love. My home is like candles lit in a temple, calm, relaxing, soothing and simple. My home is my favourite place. It reminds me of a warm, smiley face.
Beautiful, thank you very much. Next we have up Fizan from Stanley Grove Primary Academy. His poem is "This is My Beautiful Home." He's going to perform it in Urdu and English. No, just Urdu.
ये मेरा घर है, मेरा घर बहुत खूबसूरत है। मेरे अब्बू ने 2010 में 2 लाख पाउंड में खरीदा था। इसमें 2 मंजिल, 3 कमरे और एक किचन भी है। ये मेरा घर है, मेरा घर बहुत खूबसूरत है। मेरे अब्बू ने 2010 में 2 लाख पाउंड में खरीदा था। इसमें 2 मंजिल, 3 कमरे और एक किचन भी है।
Beautiful work, that band. Next we have Nayab from Rushbrook with "Thankful to Have a Home." She's going to be performing in English.
Thankful to have a home. Thankful to have a home that is all cozy and warm. Thankful to have a home that protects us from the storm. Thankful to have a home where I will always be known. Thankful to have a home where I'm never ever left alone. Thankful to have a home where creativity runs from dusk till dawn. Thankful to have a home where I can always be in the zone. Thankful to have a home. Wait, no. Be thankful for what you've got. Some people don't have a lot. Be thankful for everything you have got. Not many people have a lot.
Just if you notice, our young people have all got T-shirts that they've made. It's "Welcome Home" in some of the 200 languages we speak in our lovely fair city. Next we have Moad from Longside Primary. No, that's not right. It's Longside Community Primary School. I'll get in big trouble for that. Your poem is called "Home is Italy and Manchester," and you're going to go for it in English.
Home is Italy. It smells like a wonder. It makes me feel safe. It tastes like a fluffy marshmallow. My home looks like it is a palace. It sounds like a peaceful library, or sometimes a hectic jungle. Home is Manchester. It smells like a freshly cooked, delicious food. It tastes like a comforting hot chocolate. It feels like heaven. It looks like a tasty fluffy chicken. And a bird singing in my home.
And then last for this slot we have Aisha from St Agnes with "Ilmi," which is in Yoruba.
Ilemi ni ikoti o matojumi. When eloni noe, o madabi ewani ibikomi. If eguke, e mari yara meta. Yara eyokoni tititimi. Yara eyokoni tititimi. If eloni noe, o madabi ewani ibikomi. Ilemi otobi and ofe. If ewo window mi elewi erawo. And elewi igi ati oroyo ati orunwo. When I was lucky and aleba oro onje, when onje wade enwa omadu. Iye ni ile siemi.
How wonderful is that? Absolutely fantastic. So next we have up one of our other professional poets. Not that I'm saying that our aren't getting amazingly professional, but we have one of our bilingual poets here now who's been over in Wythenshawe collecting poetry over there for us. It's Bogdan, who's going to be performing in Polish and English? Yes. Polish and English, fantastic.
Hi everybody, how are you doing? this is nice, people. I got a wah-wah for asking how you're doing. That's the kind of gig I like. So yeah, I'm going to be performing in Polish and in English. The reason for that is that I come from Poland. I've lived in England for a third of my life, for 13 years now. I'm based down in Birmingham, so it's a pleasure to be here in Manchester and to get to hear some of the stories that people had to share. So I thought I'd give you some of the poems that people wrote in Wythenshawe at the library, tell you a little bit about them, and then I'll give you exactly 3 poems from me. One will be entirely in Polish, one will be partly in Polish, and one to reward you for your patience will be entirely in English. So now we all know what we're doing. I've transcribed the poems that people wrote at the library onto my phone, so as not to ruin the poem street. My poem street is there, kind of halfway up the wall. It's easily accessible. You don't have to stand on your tiptoes to read it. I strongly recommend it. There's some very strong stuff there. But I've picked a few for you, and the first one I wanted to read was written by, I think, a 6-year-old girl, and it's fantastic because it starts with very specific detail, and then it takes a turn into something unexpected and just absolutely beautiful. And it goes exactly like this. Home is where you belong. It has 4 rooms upstairs and 4 rooms downstairs. And whether they're in or not, my family in all of them. Nah, exactly. Then I wanted to do one more in a different vein, just to show that stories about home can mean different things. And whereas most of the stories were wonderful and talked about love and warmth and so on, this is not what home means to everybody. And that's okay too. And hopefully that's not the story forever. This is a very short one, but it just goes like this. Home is boring. The place I want to leave as soon as I can. Home is not where I want to be. It's important to represent people. Different people have different relationships with home, and sometimes that's how you feel. It comes and goes in phases, and that's all safe and cozy. And his body is a snapped elastic band. He smiles, nods, and rolls over already asleep. I soft shoo it out of his room and take a bow to the silent applause that fills our 2 a.m. house. Outside, my neighbor is kicking his car door. It's crumpled like an unwanted bill. His wife is next to him, a crashless dummy in the passenger seat. I open the door and everything falls silent. I can hear the 45 driving down the Persia Road. And to break the awkwardness, I take a step forward and I say, look, the trees are loud and moving with the wind. And rain is falling, making the ground muddy, and all the squirrels got scared, but they went into the squirrel houses, and they're cuddling each other, all safe and cozy. My neighbor smiles and sits down on the street, leaning against his car, but I don't see this. I'm already running. And on the top deck of the 45, 3 men ask me for the time, and they hear my accent. They want to know where I'm from, and I can't give them the accent they want, but I can give them the answer they deserve. So as I punch the stop button, and they get uncomfortably close, I watch their eyes turn into knuckles. I stand up, and I say, "Gentlemen, the trees are loud and moving with the wind. And rain is falling, making the ground muddy. The squirrels got scared, but they went into their squirrel houses, and they're cuddling each other, all safe and cozy." And I get off at the airport. Who buys plane tickets at the airport anymore? Simon Cowell. He seems uncomfortable. His jeans are riding up, and his shirt wants to be a different color. His assistant pays for a prestige class seat. And Simon sighs as he looks down at his black Beats by Dre. He holds them like brass knuckles. I can hear the headband creaking in his fist. I tap him on the shoulder. "Simon, man," he flinches. "Simon, you have to hear this. You know, outside, the trees are loud and moving with the wind, and rain is falling, making the ground muddy, and all the squirrels got scared, but they went into the squirrel houses, and they're cuddling each other, all safe and cozy. And as soon as I land in South Carolina, I take a taxi to the Peace Center. There's security guards ask me for a ticket. I give them a notepad and a red crayon. I tell them, draw a fire engine made out of balloons, and it's a big room. It's a big room. I can see at least 6 cameras, and the men behind the podium stop shouting at each other and look at me. Who's this loser? Ask the tallest one. I find my light. I find my camera. I clear my throat. I say, America? The trees are loud and moving with the wind. And rain is falling, making the ground muddy. And yes, the squirrels got scared, America. But they went into their squirrel houses, and they're cuddling each other, all safe and cozy. Now my kids are they're cuddling each other, all safe and cozy. And my kids are still asleep by the time I get home. Just my coffee is bitter because I let it brew too long. And the kitchen floor is cold on my bare feet. And my phone screen is on. And I can hear comment sections. Jackhammer screaming at me from inside. And really, I just want to throw my head back and howl until a little cul-de-sac shakes me off itself like a wet dog. Until it shakes me off itself like a wet dog. But then she walks in without a word, puts the kettle on and sits down next to me with a bill I forgot to pay. Runs her fingers through my hair. And the steam from the kettle clouds the window. But I can see that behind it, the trees are moving and rain is falling. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're moving on to our next group of young performers. Next we have Richard from Rushbrook with My Bass.
This is my base, my favorite place, my beginning and end to each day. A place where I go to think of how my day has been and improve it in any way. A place where I go to think of how my day has been and improve it in any way. A place where I go to think of how my day has been and improve it in any way. A place to discover new things, a place to find my wings. If you don't know what my place is, it's home. Home, home, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no... Home, home, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh. Home, home, sweet home. There's no place like home. Oh, there's no place like home.
You Barakari, you've got to repeat it. Okay, then we have Ayan from St Agnes, please, with Home is Paradise. You're going to perform in Urdu and English. Beautiful.
Home is a place where we all smile, and that smile spreads for miles. Home, thank you. Home is full of joy alongside with toys. Home is full of joy alongside with toys. Home is full of joy alongside with toys. Home, where you can happily live with family. Home is always full of joy, full of love, not doves, greetings, thank you, not meetings, and family hugs, not bugs. Thank you. House is full of loves, not doves, greetings, not meetings, and family hugs, not bugs. In my bedroom, my bed is warm, soft, snug and cozy. Delicious smells come from the kitchen, which makes me really nosy. Thank you. In my bedroom, my bed is warm, soft and cozy. Delicious smells come from the kitchen, which makes me really nosy. And now I shall translate it into Urdu. घर एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ हम सब मुस्कुराते हैं और वो मुस्कुराहट मीलों तक फैलती है। घर खुशियों से भरा होता है और खिलौनों के साथ। घर ऐसी जगह है जहाँ आप खुशी के साथ आपके घर वालों के साथ रहते हैं। घर हमेशा मोहब्बतों से भरा होता है
Thank you. न कि नफरतों और लड़ाई झगड़ा से। घर हमेशा मोहब्बतों से भरा होता है, न कि नफरतों और लड़ाई झगड़ा से। मेरा बिस्तर नरम और आरामदेह है और किचन से मजेदार खुशबुएं आती हैं। घर
Okay, now we have Abdullah from Rushbrook. It's very important I say this right. It's got to be the inside of a crazy house.
The inside of a crazy house. In my crazy house, there's all sorts going on, like a fight over a toy and a wrestle over a bonbon. My siblings fight over the remote. It's an incessant war for the adults. It's an incessant war for the adults. It's an incessant war for the adults. They try to bribe them with a gift. Somehow, it makes their sad mood uplift. So, their happiness lets them run along. Thank you very much. So, their happiness lets them run along. But sometimes after, it does not work. So, what on earth do I do? Well, thank you very much. So, what on earth will I do? Well, I say to my mom, it's up to you. It's up to you. I say to my mom, it's up to you. So, will this curse ever get worse? Thank you. Thank you.
He was such a quiet boy when he started with us. We've now got Hafsa from Stanley Grove with Casa in Spanish. Hafsa's learning Spanish at school at the moment, so I'm really proud of her for giving this a go. Well done.
Mi casa el gatito alhaza algo yo lata sono como el vitelli yo responsio yo boli yo canta yo obra anko sosu justo mi mama yo amo su yo hera cara a camera.
Well done. Now we have Ishak from St Agnes with The Ultimate Place.
My home is warm, but it's not always calm. The TV's on the wall, my sister's making a call. My mum's sewing machine is creating noise. I hear her shouting, these boys. My mum's sewing machine is creating noise. I hear her shouting, these boys. My mum's sewing machine is creating noise. I hear her shouting, these boys. Dad comes home, siblings have a moan. Mum's in the kitchen while the smell roams. It smells delicious and reminds me of good times. When we sit down to eat, that's the only time we are silent. My home is very quiet. There's often a riot. My home feels secure. My parents give me hugs. This is my place where I feel loved. Home's the ultimate place where everyone feels safe.
And you learned it off by heart. Well done, my friend. We're going to move on to our third bilingual poet, which is Stephanie Longsdale, who works in English and in French, I believe. She's been working over at North Manchester Library, right at the top there, and has brought some poetry back for us from there.
Hi, it's lovely to be here. I'm going to do some poetry. I'm going to do some poetry in French and English and Spanish. Big up Hafsa representing with the Spanish over there, well done. And yeah, so I'm going to read the poems from the library first. We had it was quite a baby poem writing session up in Harper Hay. So quite a lot of the kids, because they were only little, decided to do kind of acrostic poems. So rather than read them out one at a time, I'm going to squish them all together in one big poem. I don't know what I've done to this, am I? Honestly. Oh, it's alright, it's alright. I just won't touch it. Home is a happy place. Only me and my family in my home. My home is one of a kind. Every home is one of a kind. Home is the best. It's good. It's perfect. Just as you are. Home, is helping everybody in the house, organising each other, food and life, making memories. Everybody is welcome. And home, I've forgotten it. Can you carry it for me? Home is making memories and everyone is welcome. Home is where we are safe or somewhere nice and warm. It's mum and dad. Everyone shares love at home. Everyone shares love at home. Home is safe, and occasionally we have a party, madness in the house. Everyone has fun, and this was my favourite one. Madness in the house and everyone has fun. I'll let you guess the age of the child that wrote this. A bit younger, this one. They were 3. I think this sums up what I think about when I think about home. Happy, open, mummy, eat. Yeah, so we had a lovely afternoon up in Harper Hay. So I'm going to do some poems for you. I've got 3 poems for you. I've got one in French, one in English, and I'm going to start with one in Spanish. So you might have guessed from my accent, I am not a native French or Spanish teacher, Spanish speaker even. They're languages that I learned starting when I was a teenager, and then I went and lived there and so on, and they're roughly on home. So this is one that I wrote yesterday for here, which is about, do we have any Spanish speakers in? Fantastic, I love it when no one's going to judge for Spanish. It's not very long, don't worry. It's about moving one land to go and live in another land, if you like. Su casa es mi casa. Somos conquistadores del sol. Llegamos a la costa, palomas blancas gordas con intenciones malas, llenas de cerveza y de arrogancia inglesa. No nos gusta y de arrogancia inglesa y no nos gusta la comida. Este sol nos quema. No hablamos la idioma, pero podemos hablar en voz más alta. Podemos hablar en voz más alta. You've got to join in now. Podemos hablar en voz más alta. Si no puedes entendernos. Y nos escapamos de nuestra isla pequeña. Hemos siempre buscado la tierra. Somos una invasión sin camiseta ni gracia. Hola, mi amiga. Viva España. Gracias. Oh, no. I have it's funny when you're a white Irish person from Salford and no one expects you to be able to speak other languages, and then when you do, they're like, it's like a magic trick, look! So this poem's in English, and I think a lot of people have read poems because home is people for a lot of us, isn't it? So this is a poem, if I can find it in my book, about my granddad. He was also somebody who moved quite a long way from home, I think, as a lot of people's family in Manchester did. She says, and I'm not going to be able to find it. Sorry guys, I should have marked these pages off better, shouldn't I? What? Thank you for wowing my disorganisation. Yeah, sorry. Thank you so much. It's taking ages finding my poem. I do apologise. Keep the energy up. Keep the energy up. Oh, there we go. I've got it. Oh, sorry. I am sorry. It was a long time to wait, wasn't it? It's not got a title, this one. I arrive in a tenement, swiftly followed by my sister. We are visiting for Christmas and I flip onto the floor like the fish your nana dreamed of. And I am comforted. I flip onto the floor like the fish your nana dreamed of, and I am comforted. I flip onto the floor like the fish your nana dreamed of. Thanks, mate. Cheers. I am comforted, swaddled and kissed and sailed back over the water, and I miss being surrounded by the sound of my mother. Thank you. I take to the sea. I am a teenager whose overalls hang heavy off my shoulders. I smile to the camera. I am proud. The bulk to fill them will never come. I'll never be a big man, not in that sense. I take to the sea again. I do my bit. And I never know solitude. Having shared the womb, I do not like it. I seek to fill this emptiness. It is too quiet. I make a brood and I fill my house with it. And I am curious because there is so much to learn. I keep learning. I take things apart to see how they work, and sometimes I rebuild them and I lose my accent. I much prefer to sound like my mother, but I cannot lose my name and they can still place me. And I work hard. I work thank you. I work hard. I work hard. I work up and up the stone staircase in the town hall to lofty spires, and they give me an office of civic opulence, and I oversee this city of industry, humility. I make it grow. I build a runway so that others may land, and I watch them leave and I watch them come like I did. And most often I see injustice and it angers me. Most often I see injustice and it angers me. I call it out in writing. See, you need to hold these people accountable. Steph, you need to hold these people accountable. You need to hold these people accountable, and they are accountable to you, and don't you ever forget it. And I maintain faith in the system, in reason, but not in God. I was only ever pretending, and I reach the retirement I put off, and I am alone for the first time. And I sit at the cemetery daily for them. She is with me still, and I meet another. And there are no demands of time and work and fatherhood. And this time, like I planned it, I sit by the sea and I welcome you in. I sit by the sea. Michel Foucault, Simone de Beauvoir, that from afar I, a child of the Industrial Revolution, fell a part of an intellectual one. Not on the banks of the ship canal, but on the Rive Gauche. And when I speak your tongue, the chains of my accent and my class fall long gone, I become another. You liberated me. And whilst equality might be beloved of the French, nevertheless, not at mine, in my heart you reside. You are my king, Cantona. Vive la République. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
We're going to have to slow down the maracas and the wah-wahs because we're going to be here all night. Maracas. Okay. Next we have, are we ready, team 3? We have the person I skipped to right at the front. Sahir with Longsight from Longsight Community Primary School, the Blessing Home in Japanese, everybody.
The blessing home. Watashi wa akita ka so to kage hai no naka ni ashi o from the letter songoni. Watashi wa ni kai no mama ni haya ni hishitu chichoya no nekadu japu no shimshu. Watashi wa ni ki oyonde haru tame ni shinshitsu ni ikimasu. Watashi wa no pajama no ui ni wa hikaru koshunga amasu. And how a cozy blanket feels on a cold night. It'll be warm and perfect like a cup of tea. There are happy moments, there is magic, there is love. Home is a wish that anybody can wish for. Home is a wish that anybody could wish for. Kazaku o chifuku hi tistusmo. Lidi is hon o chichana moni. La kate ai no kafuku sikumu. Li wai ai ga yondaru hashu. A house is heaven when it's filled with love. Home is not a place, but a feeling. It's a blessing, so cherish it. No matter where we choose to roam, we will always return home.
Wow. Thank you, that was beautiful. Now we have Hisham from Rushbrook with What is Home?
Home is one mistake then fight. Even still, it's always bright. Home is your favorite food. It always uplifts your mood. Home is your favorite place. Home will never be a waste of space. Home will protect you from the rain. And when it's sunny, we'll go out again. For supper, eat some bread. 10 minutes later, go to bed. Home is a snuggly cover, and to tuck you in is your mother. Home will give you wings and flight. For my home, I will always fight.
Beautiful. Now we have Abdullah from Stanley Grove with Jungle. Let's have that jungle.
My home is a wallpaper jungle. My home is a wallpaper jungle. Big blooms, blue, white, red, green, righteous rainbows, colours clash as loudly as me and my sister fighting over who can use the laptop first. My home is a blanket, safe, hug, so snug, gives comfort when I'm sad. My woobies sink into the fabric along with my tears. Warm as me and my sisters laughing at the vine of the falling skateboarder, at the vine of the falling skateboarder.
We got through it, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, my friend. Now we have Zahid from Longside Community Primary with Truly Be You.
Home is where you can truly be you, where you can rest and eat that delicious food, play your games or relax quietly. It's welcoming and familiar, or more than just a building. Watch TV shows or relax with family. Also, it's a special memory. Hang your coat in the amazing haven. That's what makes it special. Bursting with clothes and many transparent windows.
Okay, and finishing off with this group, we have Darren from Stanley Grove with My Family, who's going to perform in Kurdish and English.
My family. My home is as busy as the Trafford Centre, as noisy as rush hour on Stockport Road. My home is full of technology, TV, PlayStation, TV in my room, iPads everywhere. But we need to turn it down because Dad is Sister is either playing with Bobby living a dream house or singing Friends. Or singing Friends. So annoying. My brother cries on and on forever, waiting for a nap, but he would be up all night. My mom is exhausted running everything, as exhausted as Mo Salah scoring a hat-trick. As exhausted as Mo Salah scoring a hat-trick. As exhausted as Mo Salah scoring a hat-trick. My home is busy, sporty, tidy, loud, funny. A place to forget about exams and tests. My home is a place of joy and rest. And it is definitely the best. مالي من وجهي ترافل سنتر سرقالة. مالي من بدنجا وجهي زادي ستوكبورت. مالي من برا تكنولوجي. بلاي ستيشن وتلفزيون وغرفام ايباد لهم زيك. بس تبي صوتي بيني نواري. بكنتم كباب نستيا باش بوني إيشي. لقريش خوشكم ياري لقر خاني باربي دكا. یان گۆرانی دەڵێ زۆریز ئاچە براگت کە کەم هەر دەگرێتن چاوەڕی خەوی ڕۆژ دەکا بەڵام بۆ شەو هەر باگایە داکم ماندیە هەموو شتێکی دەکا ماندیە وچی محەممەد سەلاح 3 گۆڵی بکە ماڵی من بادەنگە باوەرزشە خاوێنە بە پێکەنینە جێیەکی ئیمتیحان و دەرسی لەبیر دەکەین جێی خۆش و ئیسراحەتە ماڵی من بە تەکیدم باشترینە
Beautiful. We're going to bring on our last bilingual poet this evening with Basia Kazmi. Very good friend of ours who came and worked with us last year. Friend of mine, we used to work in the same school with each other, so it's lovely to have Basia here. He's been collecting poetry together at Central Library and he's got some of his own work as well.
Thank you very much, all of you, listening and enjoying. Now, this Wawa and Mukarrar, about Wawa and Mukarrar, let me tell you one thing, that sometimes, mostly, these are used to appreciate the poetry you like. Sometimes the audience use this to tease the poets and sometimes to hoot them. And innocent poets, they just go on repeating when Mukarrar is said. But clever poets bring their books and they threaten that if you say Mukarrar or if you say Wawa too much, I have the whole book to recite. Right. A few poems that I have selected, mostly from kids like you, young poets. 2 are single liners. Home is where heart is. Second, home is where my family is. Thank you. Third one is a slightly lengthier one. I love my, and there's a rhyme scheme here. I love my house. It is nice and warm, dry and cozy from the winter storm. With plenty of food and drink, it is a place I like to think. from Harry. Thank you. In fact, this thank you goes to the writer. Two poems by a mature poet, Mr. J. Ahmed, who might be here. Home is where my heart is. It's where I build my dreams. With love, forever unity. My family, my team. I'm talking Pakistan. I wanted to go out, travel, see the world. But my mole was not working. And a time came when I said, the title is Frequent Traveler. So now, should I read the translation first or the Urdu first?
How very kind from Bashir. He's realising we're running very behind and he wants to make sure that all our young performers get in, so that's very generous of you. Thank you so much. We've now got Madia from St Agnes with Home Joins Us. Over to you.
Home joins us. Home is a place for love and respect. Home is a space for peace and joy. Home is a place where hope can